A fragile ceasefire descended upon the war-torn Gaza Strip, halting 15 months of relentless conflict between Hamas and Israel. The truce, effective from January 19, 2025, brought with it a glimmer of hope as both sides agreed to a prisoner exchange. For the families of those held captive, it was a moment of immense relief and joy. Hamas released 3 Israeli hostages, Romy Gonen, Doron Steinbrecher and Emily Damari, their faces etched with the ordeal they endured. In return, Israel released 90 Palestinian prisoners, including 69 women and 21 teenage boys. The exchange marked a pivotal moment in the conflict, offering a rare instance of cooperation amidst the bloodshed. Images of the released hostages reuniting with their families flooded news channels worldwide, offering a poignant reminder of the human cost of the conflict. Emily Damari, who lost 2 fingers during her abduction, was seen embracing her loved ones, her spirit unbroken despite the trauma. The release of the prisoners, many of whom had spent years behind bars, sparked celebrations in Gaza and the West Bank. Khalida Jarrah, a prominent Palestinian figure, was among those released. Her return to her family was met with cheers and tears, highlighting the deep emotional resonance of the prisoner exchange. However, the joy was tempered by the overwhelming scale of devastation in Gaza and the uncertain future that lies ahead. The ceasefire, while offering a respite from violence, is merely a pause in a long and bitter conflict. The road to a lasting peace remains long and arduous, fraught with political complexities and deep-seated mistrust. As the guns fall silent, the true extent of the devastation in Gaza is slowly being revealed, a stark reminder of the human cost of this protracted conflict. The ceasefire may have brought a temporary halt to the fighting, but the scars of war run deep, leaving a legacy of pain and uncertainty. The ceasefire allowed residents of Gaza to finally return to their neighborhoods, many for the first time since the conflict escalated 15 months ago. What they found was a scene of unimaginable destruction. Entire neighborhoods lay in ruins, reduced to rubble and dust. Over 47,000 Palestinians perished in the conflict, leaving countless families shattered and grieving. The physical scars of the conflict are deep and will take years, if not decades, to heal. Nearly 2.3 million people in Gaza are homeless, their houses destroyed or uninhabitable. The scale of the devastation is staggering, a testament to the ferocity of the fighting. Amidst the rubble, residents searched desperately for any belongings they could salvage, clinging to fragments of their former lives. The air was thick with the smell of dust, smoke and decay, a grim reminder of the violence that had transpired. The once bustling streets now resembled a ghost town, eerily silent except for the sound of debris being cleared. Children, their faces etched with a mixture of shock and resilience, navigated the treacherous landscape, their childhoods irrevocably altered by the conflict. The psychological toll of the conflict is immeasurable, particularly on the children who have witnessed horrors no one should ever have to see. The task of rebuilding Gaza seems insurmountable, a daunting challenge in the face of such widespread destruction. Yet amidst the ruins, there were also flickers of hope and resilience. Residents, though overwhelmed by the scale of the devastation, displayed remarkable determination to rebuild their lives and their communities. The spirit of the Palestinian people, though tested, remains unbroken. As the dust settled, a massive international relief effort swung into action, aiming to provide urgent humanitarian aid to the beleaguered population of Gaza. Trucks laden with food, water, medicine and other essential supplies began arriving through the Kerem Shalom crossing, a lifeline for the devastated territory. International aid organizations, including the United Nations, the Red Cross and numerous NGOs, mobilized their resources to provide shelter, food and medical care to those most in need. Field hospitals, overwhelmed by the influx of casualties during the fighting, struggled to cope with the demand for medical attention. Doctors and nurses worked tirelessly, providing care under extremely challenging conditions. The international community, recognizing the gravity of the situation, pledged millions of dollars in aid. However, the needs are immense, and it will take a sustained and coordinated effort to address the long-term humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The ceasefire brought a much-needed respite, allowing aid workers to access areas previously unreachable due to the fighting. The focus now shifts to providing immediate relief and beginning the arduous task of rebuilding infrastructure. The damage to Gaza's infrastructure is extensive, with power grids, water systems and sanitation facilities severely impacted. The restoration of basic services is crucial not only for the immediate well-being of the population, but also for the long-term recovery and development of Gaza. The international community faces a moral imperative to support the people of Gaza as they begin the long and difficult process of rebuilding their lives. The ceasefire presents an opportunity to address the underlying political and economic issues that have fueled the conflict. The challenge now is to seize this opportunity and work towards a just and lasting solution. The ceasefire and the subsequent prisoner exchange triggered a wave of mixed emotions across Gaza. While the return of loved ones from Israeli prisons sparked celebrations and joyous reunions, the overwhelming sense of loss and the scale of devastation tempered the jubilation. In Gaza City, families gathered to welcome home their released relatives, their faces etched with a mixture of joy and sorrow. The celebrations were a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a refusal to be cowed by adversity. However, the festivities were often punctuated by the grim reality of the situation. The constant reminders of the conflict, the rubble-strewn streets and the stories of loss and suffering served as a sobering counterpoint to the moments of joy. For many, the ceasefire, while welcome, felt more like a pause in the fighting rather than a definitive end to the conflict. The underlying issues that have fueled the conflict for decades remain unresolved. The future remains uncertain, overshadowed by the spectre of renewed violence. The trauma of the past 15 months will take years to heal, and the psychological scars of the conflict will continue to haunt the population. The international community must recognize that true peace cannot be achieved through military means alone. Addressing the root causes of the conflict, including the occupation and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, is essential for achieving a just and lasting solution. The resilience of the Palestinian people, their determination to rebuild their lives amidst the ruins, is a testament to the indomitable human spirit. The international community must stand by them, not just in providing humanitarian aid, but also in supporting their aspirations for a better future. The ceasefire offers a glimmer of hope, a chance to break the cycle of violence and forge a new path towards peace and reconciliation.